Woodward Sports Network. Let's go!
It is Thursday, right here on Woodward in downtown Birmingham. My name is Stick. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. This is the Morning Woodward Show on Detroit's all-digital sports network. To my right this morning.
What's the word? It's Kory.
And to my left this morning.
It's Joey. Good morning.
And over in producer land, we got Alex, and then we got Fish doing sound today. How you doing today, Fish?
I'm doing great.
Good. The Fish, he had rugby. The initial kickoff for his favorite sport, rugby, was yesterday, so he may be a little tired today because he was up all night watching rugby.
I actually was not up all night.
Okay, I'm lying.
Call him out on his BS, Fish.
Right.
I'm in a great mood, though. It's going to be a good show.
I'm glad you're in a great mood. I'm in a great mood, too, because at 11:30 this morning, we got Big Ten basketball, and not only Big Ten basketball, Michigan State basketball. You guys ready for this? I mean, last night was the play-in games for the Big Ten tournament. Minnesota won, Penn State won, but those games don't really matter, right? I mean, the official tournament starts this morning at 11:30 with Michigan State University taking on Maryland. The winner of this game is going to get Michigan tomorrow at 11:30, which I think we're all rooting for another Michigan State matchup, right, guys?
I'm not going to front. While I do love Michigan's, I love Michigan teams competing against each other. Somebody who's helped me out and has, become a good friend is one of the coaches on the Maryland team, DeAndre Haynes. So I'm kind of like in between a little bit. I want Michigan State to do well, but hey, I want my friend to do well too.
Screw you, DeAndre Haynes, or whatever his name is, because Michigan State hopefully going to whoop your ass today, DeAndre Haynes, Kory's boy. And then tomorrow, going to play Michigan for another repeat. And this is a big one because I've been talking about it all week. I don't want no 1-1 split on the season. I want there to be an obvious winner of who is better in basketball right now, Michigan or Michigan State. And I think we all know the answer.
What's the answer?
Screw you, DeAndre Haynes.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I like Kory and he's got a boy for Maryland, I hope they get slaughtered today, Kory. What you got, Fish?
8,000 fans in attendance.
8,000 fans in attendance.
I mean, we'll see how many of those show up, but that's the capacity they're allowed to have.
Okay. Wow, man. I love that we're slowly getting back to normal because to me, one of the biggest things I took away from this whole pandemic is fans need sports and sports needs fans. Like, they're not the same in an empty arena. It really isn't. I mean, when I first started watching NBA last year in empty arenas, I think I wrote an article. It's up at woodwardsports.com. Just how much are sports boring without fans? Because that is what adds the excitement. When the three-pointer goes in, the whole crowd erupts, or the game-winning shot. I mean, the game is still exciting in itself, but it's the reaction of the fans and the people, too.
Like, I was obviously so excited going to the Red Wings game the other day, but it was so weird with all of the crowd noises, and there was a couple goals in the game, and you don't even hear fans really going crazy because there was only 750 fans allowed into Little Caesars Arena. It's just one of those things, especially, have you ever been to a hockey game?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, the energy inside of a hockey game, this is my first at LCA, but I've been to one at Joe Louis Arena, and the energy, even if the team is not doing well, when they score a goal is crazy, and it's not the same with the crowd noises.
Yeah, it's that buzz. There's just that feeling, the energy, and that, we're humans. We exchange energy, and when you put 40,000 of us in one place, it's going to pop off. That's just what happens, and I'm glad we're slowly getting back to it. We saw that Texas Tech highlight last week where, the fans were going nuts in the stands, and it's like, it's just nice, and hopefully we're doing it safely, and hopefully everybody's going to be healthy throughout this whole process. But I cannot wait till we have packed arenas again, especially for a game like this. Michigan State versus Maryland. They met earlier in the season, and Maryland kind of whooped their ass. They won 73-55. That was on February 28th, so really not that long ago. But since then, Michigan State has pretty much been on a tear. I mean, taking out Illinois, taking out Ohio State, taking out Michigan. So Michigan State has slowly but surely been building towards this moment.
Yeah, but the thing about it is they definitely need to do themselves some favors and go out and have a great showing in the tournament, and that starts starts today. They need to go out and punch Maryland in the mouth and to continue to have a great run throughout this Big Ten tournament, because even though they have won those games against those ranked opponents over the past couple of weeks, they still need to do themselves some favors with their record, and going ahead and winning this Big Ten tournament would pretty much just go ahead and put them in there, or just at least having a respectable showing would get them on the bubble. So what I'm looking for from Michigan State this morning, actually.
This morning. Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Yeah,
I love
This
it.
night.
this morning
is
is to just go out there and be as aggressive as they always are. You know, they got the 8-year veteran Josh Langford there, so I'm expecting him to go out there and do his best. But hey, this is Izzo's month, and like I said, I know Izzo was watching that Everything Is Overrated episode, so I'm curious to see what they do today, and I expect Michigan State to go out and they should beat Maryland. I believe the odds have them as a 1-point favorite. I think the game will be. I can't say it's going to be any closer than that. It's 1 point.
It's 1 point, right?
Yeah. So
no, that's honestly been interesting to watch the Vegas lines happen, because yesterday it was Maryland -3. Then I woke up this morning, it was Maryland -1.5, and now you mentioned where you were looking, it's Maryland -1. So obviously a lot of people are starting to put some money on Michigan State. And when you look at what Tom Izzo was able to do back-to-back games with Michigan, making those adjustments, this isn't back-to-back, but they just played February 28th. Izzo's gonna make those adjustments going into this game.
and that's who Izzo is. Izzo is the master of adjustments. That's why they went ahead and split those 2 games with Michigan. You give him enough time to prepare against the team, he's gonna go back, look at film, and break down everything that he did wrong as a coach, his players did wrong, and he's gonna drill and drill and drill on them to not make those same mistakes. So Maryland, they're going to have their work cut out for them this morning.
Yeah, I think so too.
And they're like the second chance team, because you say it with Izzo. I mean, that's what he does. He breaks down film. He's just the master at bringing back a good game plan after once playing a team. And like you said, lost to this team February 28th. So lost against Michigan, and the next time they play, they ended up coming back and winning.
Yeah, and part of that game, I just got a text from Maz from the Hook, is that Maryland started out that game 11-0, and then Michigan State was kind of chasing them the whole time. So, that's one thing to look for in this game today, is if Maryland can jump out to that head start, or if it's going to be competitive right off the bat. I got some interesting stats here. If we just want to go over Maryland and how they kind of got here, they're 15-2, 9-11 in the Big Ten. They beat number 6 Wisconsin. They beat number 12 at the time Illinois. They beat number 17 at the time Minnesota, who's kind of fallen out since then. But they were 6-2 in February, so they've been doing okay.
So they're kind of like State, that they're catching that little late flare once they get a little taste of March Madness.
Exactly. State is probably trending up better than almost any team in the country, just with those, they got
4, 5, and 2 teams in the country wins.
I was going to say, they got those wins over the top 5 teams almost consecutively. And that win over Michigan, getting them ready to go to this tournament, has to have them at least feeling good in the locker room.
Maybe.
Let's serious question.
Maybe.
If we lose tonight, Michigan State loses, do you think they still get in the tournament?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Really?
I think they're. I think they're on the bubble. I think they're on the bubble. Maybe. I think if they have a good showing in the tournament, like if they beat Maryland and play hard against Michigan, then they lost that game, then okay, they'll still get in. And if they lose, I'll say it like this: if they lose badly against Maryland, then I could see them being on the outside looking in.
Yeah, if they get blown out, maybe. But I think that win against Michigan last week just kind of cemented them in as at least if they were on the bubble, because at that point they were top 4 in. And then they beat the number 2 team in the country. So you're in. They're in. They may not be the biggest seed. I could see them, if they lose this game, going in as like a 12 seed maybe. But if they win this game and play Michigan, they could be as high as an 8 entering the tournament.
I mean, you see the teams that they beat to just get to where we are today. It's pretty safe to say that Michigan State has probably beat the national championship team. When you look at the teams, it's 3 of the top 5 teams in the league. It's had to have been done. So how do you not give them a chance to get in? Because if they're not in, they're going to be at home watching the national champion team saying, oh, I beat them.
Yeah.
I think they beat a good team, but I don't know if I could crown them the national championship team yet. The tournament is a crazy thing. So I don't, you never know who gets hot, but they will have beat one of the top tier. They have beat one of the top tier teams in the country. That cannot be debated. So if they get in because of that, I don't think anybody should be shocked. I just think that there is a little bit of wiggle room where they could slip out of it.
Yeah, we got people in the chat right now on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. Thank you guys for being a part of the show this morning. Joan is saying MSU is absolutely in. Larry Polk is saying yes, MSU is in. And people are saying you sound like a Michigan fan, Kory.
I have not been shy about that on this show. So I mean, I don't think that's any kind of big revelation.
Guilty as charged.
I just wore a Wolverine shirt yesterday.
Fair enough. If they're paying attention, they would have known that. Michigan State has played the 5th toughest schedule in the country.
That's amazing.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was shocked by that. But you think about it, because Izzo always front loads his schedule with non-conference opponents, and we're talking like he's going to go play Kansas, he's going to go play the Kentuckys, he's going to go play the Dukes, he's going to go play the North Carolina, and then you compound that with the Big Ten being the toughest league in the country this year. So the back half of his schedule was just as tough as the first half of his schedule, and that puts them at number 5 in the country.
Ew.
That just shows, like this tournament that started today is the best of all of them in the entire NCAA. No question.
Yes.
Oh,
no
hands
question.
Hands down.
And that's why you got to love being in the Big Ten, because a team like Michigan State, yes, they could lose a lot of games. Yes, they could be unranked. But we're still talking about them as one of the better teams in the NCAA because they faced the best teams in the NCAA.
And then you have a coach who has taken to 23 straight NCAA tournament appearances. I mean,
they're fighting for it.
You can't. Well, it would be their 23rd straight. I mean, it's hard to argue with Izzo's consistency and of making that program not only relevant but one of the they're almost like the final boss on video games. It's like, even though you may think that they're not in it, Michigan State is still like, hey, we're still around.
Yeah, it's more like Halloween with Jason. No matter how many times you kill that guy, he's just going to slowly rise up and then start kicking somebody's ass. And that's what Michigan State is. And if they could get on a run, you never know what's going to happen with Michigan State. They always have the talent. It's just, can they lock it in at the right time? And today against Maryland at 11:30 should be the right time. The over-under on this game, where'd my notes go? The over-under on this game, 131. Money line has State plus 102. Maryland minus 122, and like I said, the line has been changing, so kind of no matter where you look, you may get a different line. MyBookie.com is where I suggest you go if you want to start betting on these games. I mean, the tournament's here. This is the most fun that you're going to have in sports all year. To me, it's the best event in sports all year, so get in on it. Go to woodwardsports.com. Go to MyBookie.com. Enter promo code Woodward right now, and we will match your first deposit up to 50%. And it's real easy. Like, you don't have to put in thousands of dollars. Just put in $50. All of a sudden, you got $75 with, and you get to play. Bet $5 here, $5 there. Just get involved. It makes the action so much more fun. Like, I was watching a couple of the games last night that I had some money on, and during the game, I forget what game it was. It was the one me and Chad were watching last night. The over-under at halftime was 50. And it was 49 points. Dude hits a three-pointer at the buzzer to send it to 52 points before halftime. So if you had the over, you were happy. If you had the under, you were just heartbroken that halftime three-pointer took it to you. But that's what throwing $5 on a game does. It actually makes those sub-conference games interesting. And then when you have a rooting interest like we all do for Michigan State, just makes you root a little bit harder. So make sure you go to mybookie.com today. Enter promo code Woodward. ESPN has Maryland as a 57.6% chance of winning this game.
Wow.
I think that's like, if anything, it's like 51-49 in my book.
I think that's pretty high. I think that's very high, and I think that's also a little bit of a slap in the face to Izzo and what he's done and how he gets his teams prepared. I mean, Michigan State right now is actually peaking at the right time that they need to be. So I believe when about 3 hours, we'll see what about that.
I know, man. I love this. We talked about it during the NFL season when there was games playing at like 3 p.m. when the Steelers had that 3 p.m. game. It's just awesome. Like, I love sports it's almost like day drinking, you know? Like I'm used to drinking at night. I'm used to watching my sports at night on my couch, but when it's daylight out, 11:30 in the morning, and I get sports, whoo, I love it.
I mean, you guys going to be able to watch the game. I'm going to be doing some work.
Well, we're going to be working too, Kory. That's part of our work. We watch the game.
Yeah, y'all get the fun work.
What are you going to be doing, though? You can't watch the game.
I'm going to be taking photos.
I don't believe you guys are going to be working.
What's that?
You're not going to be working. You're going to be watching the game.
It's research, Fish.
It's research.
That's what I tell my wife every night at home. Like, sorry, babe, we got to watch the game. It's research. I got to do this. Otherwise, I'll look like an asshole tomorrow on the air.
And it's so true.
And it's so true, yeah.
So true, because if you don't watch it and you got to talk about the game, it is so hard.
See, what had happened was,
yeah, then, you could do the cheap way out and just watch the highlights, but that's like reading the cliff notes. You really aren't getting the flow of the game, what actually happened, who was in foul trouble. Like, it's like, oh, well, Bill scored 28 points and John had 11 rebounds. Like, I could read off stats all day, but I want you guys to know that I'm actually watching these games, processing them, and understanding how these wins and losses happen. So we're going to find out 11:30 today. Michigan State kicks off the Big Ten tournament. Well, kicks off the real Big Ten tournament because the play-in games were last night. Alex, you have the graphic up of the tournament bracket right now for the Big Ten and where we're sitting, because it's been updated since yesterday. Obviously, Minnesota, the 13th seed, beat Northwestern last night. I actually had Northwestern in that game, and I was shocked that Minnesota won. So Minnesota advances to face Ohio State. And then Nebraska and Penn State also played last night. Penn State held on for the win, and they beat Nebraska. They will take on Wisconsin. So this is a run of the games that we have today. Michigan State, Maryland, Minnesota, Ohio State, Indiana and Rutgers, and Penn State, Wisconsin. What game are you, besides the Michigan State game, what game are you guys looking forward to see most? You can keep that graphic up for a bit if you want.
Ohio State's one that I want to see because Minnesota did look good, that I think they could give them a little run for their money too.
Yeah, Minnesota was actually ranked pretty high early in the season. Like, Maryland beat them when they were ranked number 17. So they've just kind of fallen off, but they have the talent.
And Minnesota beat Michigan.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that matchup most definitely. I want to see if those guys are able to meet up later on in what will be the semifinals. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out. It says 25 minutes after Game 3. Okay, so 25 minutes after the Michigan State game. I thought that was the first game today, but they're talking about the other two from yesterday. So they're counting all of these as the games. So, yeah, we're just going to get hit with it and hit with it and hit with it today. I love it. Big Ten basketball, the Big Ten tournament. If you guys want to make some predictions on who you think is going to win this, drop it in the comments no matter where you're watching or listening to us right now. And we also got a bracket challenge going on for the big tournament. You can kind of see it behind me. Oh, other way. You can kind of see it behind me. The perfect bracket payoff from Hall Financial is here. We want to give you a shot to get $500,000 to pay off your mortgage and then do with whatever you want with the rest of the money. We're talking $500,000. That's kind of life-changing money, too. So if you get a perfect bracket, you get that. But don't worry, it's not all about the perfect bracket. We also got prizes for first, second, third, and like the top 10 is going to get a pizza party from Papa Romano's. And then, of course, what everybody else seems to be talking about more than the $500,000, the toilet bowl for absolutely last place.
D-Mac got dibs on that. He said that he is going to personally deliver and install this toilet into your home. So 16 seats have never looked so good.
Yeah, you just have to provide the wax ring, and D-Mac will be there to install your new toilet. But, yeah, you can sign up today, woodwardsports.com, pre-register, because obviously the brackets aren't made till after Selection Sunday, but you can pre-register right now, and as soon as they're up, you get an email, you're ready to go, pick your perfect bracket, and you could have $500,000, which is absolutely crazy. Let's take a quick 15-second break. When we come back, we talked a little bit about free agents and the franchise tag yesterday. I want to dive deeper into like the top 3 free agent wide receivers that could potentially come to Detroit. We'll talk about that next on the Woodward Sports Network.
An ounce at Michigan dispensaries is over $300. Why pay that when you can grow your own? With just one light, you can pull down over 48 ounces every free harvest. Do that math and then come see us at Grow Green, where we have everything you need to start growing and a staff of master growers to help guide you. Click growgreenmi.com.
To the Morning Woodward Show on Detroit's all-digital sports network, the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick. Yesterday, franchise tags were official, and we talked about who did, who didn't, and the people who didn't are now free agents. So I'm asking you guys, of these 3 wide receivers, who would you like to see most in Detroit? And the first one I want to bring up is Juju Smith-Schuster.
I like Juju. I think he's a phenomenal talent. I believe his market value right now is like somewhere around $16-17 million. I know Kenny Galladay was asking for the 18 to 19 range, and I don't think he's better than Juju Smith-Schuster in my opinion.
No.
So we're curious to see if Juju's actually going to command more than that, but who wouldn't want Juju? He's a little bit of a diva, with himself.
So what was Galladay?
Yeah, I'm saying he's a little bit of a diva himself with the TikTok videos and the Corvette and everything like that.
Yeah,
but
Juju, get it, Juju.
Is that Juju or is that Jaylen Brown?
It's Juju.
Oh, because they both did the similar kind of video.
Yeah, then we got another one of Juju getting punched in the stomach constantly.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised he did that one. Like that I think that's Ryan Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
He's
look at him. He's talking trash to him.
Damn.
Yeah. Joey, will you let me do that to you after the show today?
Yeah, I mean, if I had the right equipment.
Oh, he's doing it left-handed. I can do it. Oh, that was it. The money shot. But Juju's super entertaining.
Yeah, but I will say this. I don't think there is a chance in hell he leaves out of Pittsburgh. They're going to find a way to go ahead and lock him in there for the long term. I don't know when it would happen, but I don't think he's leaving Pittsburgh.
Okay. Joey, do you like Juju Smith-Schuster?
I do. He's just such an athlete. That's one thing about Juju. I mean, his whole attitude, I don't really care about it because I kind of look at him like an Andre Drummond type, where he's not so dedicated to the game. He's always trying to do other things, and that's one thing that always scares me with athletes.
Right. I like Juju Smith-Schuster. You look at his stats, he came 3 catches shy of 100 catches this year, 831 yards and 9 TDs. The dude knows how to find the end zone. But like you said, Kory, I think he's going to command about $15 million from somebody. I think he could have had a better year in Pittsburgh. They spread the ball around a lot in that offense. I mean, everybody was getting love from Ben Roethlisberger at first, and then they kind of whittled it down in the playoffs, and nobody got love. What you laughing about, man?
Shout out to Easy. I knew I was right. That was Jaylen Brown doing that. Yeah, I remember that video.
That was Juju.
No, that dancing, that was definitely Jaylen when he had the high top fit. I remember that video.
That looked just like Juju.
We all look alike, I guess.
Oh, you're going to pull that shit on me. All right, Kory. That's how it's going to be on a Thursday morning? All right.
But no, I had to do it, so it was right there.
My bad.
But no, Juju is Juju. If we could get the Lions could get Juju to come to Detroit, first off, that solves the problem of who's going to be the number 1 wide receiver, and you got Jared Goff, the talent that he needs. I would love it. I just don't know. I want to see what the Lions cap situation is going to look like after they continue to figure that out. But Juju would be a phenomenal talent here.
Yeah, I think he would fit in great, and he was the kind of wide receiver that we actually need right now that we don't have in our offense, a guy that can kind of stretch the field, be that big playmaker. So that's one guy I wanted to bring up. Another guy on this list who absolutely lit up the Lions last year, Will Fuller. Fuller is available.
That is who I want. I think that is honestly the most realistic signing that they could get. Will Fuller probably more times than not is not going to return to the Houston Texans, and he shouldn't. It's a mass exodus out of that organization because you got the preacher in there who doesn't know what the heck he's doing, and I would love it. I think they could be able to get him on a very they should be able to get him on a very decent contract, but also too, contenders are going to be looking at him as well and probably offer him that same type of deal. So hopefully the Lions can strike first. You might have to overpay him a little bit to come to Detroit, but hey, that's nothing new. The Detroit Lions have always had to overpay free agents a little bit to come here. So I would really like the Will Fuller signing.
Yeah, we got people in the chat right now saying he's way too injury prone. That's what Dan says. And Steve said Fuller is hurt a lot, which is true. But at the same time, who knows if that's gonna be moving
everybody's
forward.
hurt a lot. Man,
It's the NFL, right?
Beggars cannot be choosers. This is the Detroit Lions. Let's just be realistic here. This team is rebuilding. They have to get somebody's in there, and all of the top tier players who are going to be wide receiver free agents, they're going to go to contenders. They're going to take money to go elsewhere. If the Lions can get anybody, whether they're injury prone or not, go ahead and sign them. Next year is pretty much going to be a wash anyway. Get them on a decent deal where you have a small cap hit the next year. That, like, look at the Tyrell Williams deal. Tyrell Williams, he's not injury. He's had a checkered health, and
the past year and a half. For sure.
And people praise that signing. Why? Because he was on a cheap deal.
Yep. And once again, we need somebody to stretch the field. That's one thing that we're missing at our wide receiver core right now. Like, Tyrell Williams is what Tyrell Williams is. Quintez Cephas is not a very fleet of foot wide receiver. He's more of a big body possession guy. So we need a Will Fuller in this.
I mean, if he could come to Detroit and play for us and did what he did against us when he came here, that's a little bit different, because then I'll take that, because he almost had like 200 yards that game.
Yeah. Well, and that was right after they were rumored they wanted to trade him, and he was just like, nah, I'll show you. You don't trade me. I'm going to get 200 yards in this damn game. The third guy on this list, kind of old, but I wouldn't mind him in Detroit. T.Y. Hilton. What do you guys think of when I say that name?
Damn, I'm surprised he's still around. Like, he feels like a guy that's been there since ages. I think when you're signing a guy on that 29, 30 range, you got to be kind of, a little careful. He's getting the miles up there unless he's already been with the team and you want to keep him. But T.Y., man, he's 30. He's 31, and he's going to be 32 somewhere in the middle of the season. So.
Yeah, none of these guys I think are long-term solutions. I think they're stopgap situations that can give Goff a little bit more weapons this year. And none of these guys are like super elite to where we're going to have to break the bank for them. Maybe Juju is considered that, but honestly, he's not really that. So that's why I wanted to bring these three guys up. And at T.Y. Hilton, you bring that professionalism, you bring that work ethic, and you just bring a reliable wide receiver that your quarterback can turn to when situations are getting sticky. You're looking at his stats. He started in the league in 2012, so like you said, he's been in the league a while, almost 10 years. But last year, even, he really didn't have a great year, but he had a good year. 56 receptions, 762 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's had years of well over 1,200 yards. He's had a year of 1,400 yards. The guy can play, and I think we could get him on the cheap.
If we can get him on the cheap, hey, by all means, grab him, get him on the cheap, and I would still, draft a wide receiver, because you're going to need that guy for a long-term situation. I don't know if you need to draft him with the first overall, in the first round pick, but hey, they need bodies. Quintez Cephas and Tyrell Williams is not going to be enough.
Right. You know how I can tell Adam is feeling better? He's all up in the comments right now talking trash again. So he's saying T.Y. is not a number one. We know this. Thank you. Thank you, Captain Obvious. We know this. But we do need to fill these wide receiver positions, so we might as well fill them with somebody who can catch the damn ball and who has proven it over 10 years in the league almost. So those are the 3 top free agent wide receivers that I hope the Lions are targeting.
They're saying in the chat, grab Emmanuel Sanders. He's older than T.Y. Hilton. He's 33 years old. What are we doing?
I mean, he's fast.
He's fast, yeah.
But he didn't do a damn thing in that New Orleans offense, really. And they even were without Michael Thomas forever, so he had a chance to come in and be that dude there. He's not that dude.
Yeah.
He wasn't that dude in Denver. He's just not that dude.
With the Lions cap situation, they need to just be happy whoever they can get to come here and take what they can offer. They don't have a lot of money to work with.
No.
So it's just like right now it's just because a lot of spitballing. Like, if you could take a pay cut and come to the Lions, or take a pay cut and go to a contender, they're gonna go to those contenders first.
Right.
So hopefully the Lions can just get bodies, period.
Yeah, and then with the NFL restructuring the salary cap and taking it down 8%, the Lions are just in a weird position because they dumped so much money into that Stafford contract, and they absorbed a lot in the Goff contract. Like, quarterback is eating up a lot of our salary cap right now. So this year, I don't know if this is the specific year to spend a lot of money, but we do need players on the field. That's the bottom line. So you got to fill these positions.
Yeah, some deals came in on the incentive Latin deal for Tyrell Williams. I think his base salary is $2 million. His signing bonus was $2 million, and the other incentives are like 2.2 million. So his whole deal, if everything pans out, will be 6.2.
Okay.
I mean, listen, it's the time that we got to draft somebody, hopefully a good receiver, and it's also a good time to go learn from Northwestern Tech. I'm telling you, this is the HVAC school that works. And northwesterntech.edu. Go check them out because we're talking about this pandemic that we've been in for now literally an entire year. This industry's pandemic proof. So go check them out, northwesterntech.edu. Learn about their hands-on 10.5-month program. It's only 10.5 months. By this time next year, you got yourself a new degree and you're going to be making some fat money.
That's right. That's what it's all about. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, have you guys seen the NBA earned jerseys?
Ugly.
Well, we're going to discuss those coming up next on the Woodward Sports Network. We'll be back in like 15 seconds.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Good morning, everyone.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Let's get into Joey's news.
Let's go.
It's now time for Joey's news.
You know, we're talking about how college basketball, we got the early 11:30 games. We also have Detroit Pistons basketball back again. They are starting up the second half of the NBA season. 7 o'clock tonight against the Charlotte Hornets. And good news, you see who that is right there with the ball? Killian Hayes.
Is he back?
He's not officially
Is he back?
But Coach Casey did speak on him.
Is he back?
He returned to practice, got a little run, and quote-unquote did some light work on the side, guys.
Welcome back, Killian. I was going to call him K-Dog, and that just didn't make sense. So I screwed up his whole first name. But I'm so happy that this kid is back. I just want to see him play. Like, just start him, let him play. Just let him play. Let him run.
Yeah, I was on that mid-season conference call with Troy Weaver the other day, and he said that the team is pleased of where his progress is right now, and that they're looking to have an update on his health and his status by next week.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, I've been on that Tyrese Halliburton camp. That's who I wanted, but we drafted Killian Hayes instead. I trust Troy Weaver. I trust Dwayne Casey. I trust what they were seeing in him. I didn't see it early when he was playing, but I'm still going to give this kid every opportunity to prove himself in the league. And I like that now he's coming back to, like, kind of the rookies have kind of taken over the team. And it's less awkward to take minutes from Derrick Rose or take minutes from a Blake Griffin. And now it's just the young guys are going to run it with the Pistons. I love it.
I mean, it's cool because, it's crazy, actually, because think about this. He's the 7th pick from the team, right? He was the first one that we got this year.
Mm-hmm.
But then all these other rookies are shining and kind of being the leaders to this team. So he's coming back into a perfect situation. And I talk about the NBA. Yesterday was the first day that it came back. And the Spurs' Lonnie Walker with one of the craziest circus shots that I have seen. Just watch this play here.
And Luka had a triple-double in this game.
Dude, look at that. I love seeing that. He looked, his little smile was like, oh, hell yeah, that went in. Mavericks did end up beating them 115-104, but great shot there by Lonnie. And the Michigan State making their run in the Big Ten tournament versus Maryland at 11:30 this morning. I almost messed up and I said tonight.
Oh, no, it's a morning game, Joey.
A morning game. And then the winner of this game is playing Michigan tomorrow at 11:30. So a lot of basketball right now. And this is the best time of the year. Connor McDavid with one of the most unbelievable double 5-hole assists. And this was unreal right here because, look at this. through one leg. Just beautiful.
Through two 5-holes.
On that
5-hole twice on that.
On that shot, got Leon Draisaitl's hat trick too.
That's awesome.
Guess the final score of this game against the Senators.
I didn't see it. What was it?
Just guess.
6-5.
7-1.
Jesus. All right.
7 goals in a hockey game. You gotta love it. Deion Stroud, a guy that you probably don't know his name, but after this you might know him. If he plays for Fresno State, busted out the 360 helicopter dunk against New Mexico in the Mountain West tourney. So clean and risky at the same time.
What? Come on. That's not...
That's clean.
Why are we showing that?
That's a clean dunk.
That's an average dunk. Like, you guys hated on the dunk contest, but we're going to highlight that shit?
I mean, in play... That's in play. That's a little bit different.
There was nobody on even in half court. Okay.
Listen, ballsy to do it in the middle of a game.
Great. He did a 360 dunk. I see that in high school
I want to
games.
see you do a 360
I can't dunk. We know this.
We talked about it yesterday. Miami Heat center Myers Leonard has been on the headline for his anti-Jewish racial slur using while playing a video game on Twitch. Well, Julian Edelman did come out, and he shared a message to him that I'm going to let you read here, Stick.
Yeah, I thought this was nice. It says an open letter to Myers Leonard. We've never met. I hope we can one day soon. I'm sure you've been getting lots of criticism for what you said. Not trying to add to that. I just want to offer some perspective. I get the sense that you didn't use the word out of hate, more out of ignorance. Most likely you weren't trying to hurt anyone or even profile Jews in your comments. That's what makes it so destructive. When someone intends to be hateful, it's usually met with great resistance. Casual ignorance is harder to combat and has greater reach, especially when you command great influence. Hate is like a virus. Even accidentally, it can rapidly be spread. I'm down in Miami fairly often. Let's do a Shabbat dinner with some friends, and I'll show you a fun time. Julian Edelman. I thought that was a great way to handle that whole situation.
Yeah, I thought it was a great letter. I read it as I was walking around downtown Birmingham, and it was Julian handled that as well as any athlete I've seen handles or read those type of statements or whatnot.
Yeah, and like how do I get to this point with? Usually when there's racial slurs involved, it's met with the hostility back to it. And it was interesting to see somebody reply with a calm demeanor, more about education and less about reprimanding him for what he did. But the major point of that to me is how unwillful ignorance is more powerful than actual hate.
Oh, it definitely is, because I mean, if you're just spewing off stuff off the top of your head and you don't even know, apparently you don't know what it means, which I don't believe, but it's very deconstructive to a place that we all want to get to, as far as being equality, not having to have these type of discussions all the time. And hopefully Myers Leonard just learned his lesson from it and can get back on with his life.
Yeah, well, I hope he doesn't just get back, because then we're going to wind up in a Papa John situation where 20 months from now he's going to be like, I'm working on it.
Oh, he's gonna have to move on with his life. I don't think it's going to be with the member of the Miami Heat. They have like a team option on him this off season. I highly doubt that gets picked up.
Right.
Especially after the comments that they made and the statements they made. So I just kind of...
There are a lot of Jewish people in Miami, you think?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna leave that one.
Maybe.
Yeah. So he safe to say he won't be back down in that community.
Yeah. So I mean, we talked about it yesterday, and we wanted to follow up. And I thought Julian Edelman's response is like the way men should handle things moving forward. But like I said, the major point to me is, if you're a hateful person, like, that's just what you are. You're in one silo. I can deal with that. It's like, all right, I can write that person off. But if you're unwillfully ignorant and hateful, it's like, man, how do you reach that person to really make them understand? Because the guy that hates is just going to hate. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. This type of person, hopefully you can address this and move forward.
It's kind of interesting. He was the same person that when everybody was taking a knee during the Black Lives Matter movement and George Floyd, he was the only one that stood. And then you couple that with this. It's kind of like your track record is people stand for the flag. Okay, whatever, that's your business. I don't want to get into that. But to have that then followed up with this is just a bad look for him.
See, and that might be irony or might not. It's crazy that that's like, I mean, you go back and you look at these things because, I mean, listen, there's no way that we'll ever really be able to figure out if he meant it, knew the meaning or not, because we just won't. But you could always go back and history will tell if he did certain things against other races or for other races.
Yeah. He put himself in this situation, you know, like I'm the guy that will stand for the national anthem no matter what, but I'm also the guy that won't ever say that dumb shit.
Yeah, so it's like
there is a balance where you can do both with respect.
Yeah,
you know, and obviously he's missing the boat on both ends, which makes you a complete idiot. So
I just don't understand like how in 2021 with. All right, look, it's with all the stuff that goes on. You see so many different celebrities, athletes, owners have all fallen short, have all had these moments where they had their hot mic moments where they said stuff they weren't supposed to say. How do you see all of these examples before you and you still make the same damn mistakes? That's just really who you are at this point.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing. It's really mind-blowing. So I don't want to keep spending too much time on this fool. But Julian Edelman, thank you for that response. I thought it was great. It blew up on Twitter, and everybody was talking about it. So we needed to discuss it here. Another thing that I thought was pretty interesting yesterday, there's these things that NBA released. They're called earned jerseys. And every team that made the playoff last year got their jerseys remade, and this is kind of what they look like. Let's go through all of these. So here we go. We got to look at the Lakers, Clippers, the Jazz, and the Blazers. And obviously they got that monochromatic look to it. The Lakers, they added gold accents to because they are the champions. But, Kory, you think these jerseys are trash?
I mean, look, I didn't like the Pistons. I didn't like the mock-ups that we had just off of because, you know, I'm used to our team jerseys. But they need to go hire Nick Leach for this because this is trash. Look at the Mavs and the Thunder jerseys. They look exactly the damn same to me.
I like the Jazz one.
You like the Jazz
one?
I
like the Jazz because I can rock those with my Kobe Grinches.
And St. Patrick's Day's coming up.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Right? These are... NBA is a cash cow, and they're releasing these new jerseys. I'm fine. If you want to continue releasing jerseys, hey, I get the NBA is a business, but I mean, come on. There's got to be some attractive jerseys. The Nets is ugly. Philadelphia,
well, let's talk about the ones that are on the screen right now. We'll get to the other ones. So do you like Lakers? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Let's do that real quick.
If it's got gold, thumbs up.
I'm thumbs up on the Lakers.
Yeah,
I like that.
That one looks good.
I'm thumbs up on Lakers.
Clippers,
thumbs down.
What the hell? It's just black and white or gray and white.
Dude, seriously, like that goes back to the gray jerseys the other day when we were talking about it. It just looks cheap.
Yeah, well, I think this just looks lazy. Let's go to the next set of jerseys. So here's the Nets, which I actually really like the Nets. Like that pattern, at least it adds something to it. Philadelphia, I think those are kind of dope.
I like the Philly one. I like the Philly one.
What's that?
The little puzzle piece looking thing.
No, it's a bell.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying it looks like a puzzle piece.
No, it's a bell, Joey.
It looks like a puzzle piece. I'm saying.
No, it looks like a bell.
No, it clearly looks like a bell.
I don't like that one.
It looks like
that one's trash.
The Bucks kind of just looks like the normal Bucks jerseys.
Yeah, I don't see them between the Bucks and the Celtics. I don't really see much. Okay, with the Celtics, I see a little bit with the green on the shorts, but they still don't really look that much different.
Right, and Celtics, yeah, like you said, that looks like Celtics uniforms.
You can't make Celtics jerseys look any better than they are.
No, they're classic. They're like the Pistons, you know, the old school bad boys jerseys. There's those classic look, and the Celtics have never really changed. All right, let's go to the next set. You got the Mavs, you got Denver, you got the Thunder, and you got the Rockets. Mavs, once again, just kind of look like the Mavs jerseys. Like that's what Dirk used to wear, essentially.
And the Thunder's jerseys look like the Mavs jerseys.
Yeah, they do, actually. They look a lot alike. Wow. I do like the Nuggets jersey. I think that's a cool logo that they got with the Nuggets there. You guys agree?
These are all so basic to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they had to make the playoffs to earn these, Joey. These are earned jerseys.
I don't hate the Nuggets jersey. I don't hate it.
Yeah, and the Rockets jersey, I like the black. That's nice.
It's all right.
It looks nice.
It'll look dope with some Jordan Breads.
St. Mary's actually wore black uniforms for the first time in our entire history this year.
Really?
Yeah, they busted out the black unis, and they kind of look like the Rocket uniforms.
Black and red kind of does have a nice look to it.
Yeah, especially when black is the dominant color and red's the accent. I like that.
You always got to think about the shoes that you can rock with it, and
I told you.
Yeah, you say the Jordans on that one. Like that really is a good fit because it's all about the fit. You know, what are you gonna do with that blue? Like you're so limited on that blue.
Right. And then we got one more set, I believe. These I don't mind. I actually like all of these.
The Raptors one is kind of cool.
Yeah, the Raptors is dope. Like the arrow, the triangle on the shorts, and the triangle on the jersey too.
Why is the triangle lead right up to your junk on that though? That's a little weird.
It's subliminal. You want to draw attention to the ladies.
I am not a fan of the Heat one.
The Heat one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't think yellow's their dominant color.
Yeah,
I don't know why they chose yellow for the Heat.
Yeah, that's just a bad color choice.
What do you think about the awkward pinstripes on the Pacers? Like they're diagonal pinstripes.
Yeah, I see what they were trying to do. It looked like they were trying to do like a little twist to the old jerseys that had the pinstripe, the ones from the 90s, but the diagonal was kind of throwing me off a little bit.
I hate the Pacers yellow.
Yeah, I just hate the Pacers from back in the 04 Pistons days. Like, I've never learned to re-love that team after, the Reggie Miller, after Ron Artest, after Malice at the Palace, after what we did to them in their house when Tayshaun blocked Reggie. Like, I just hated the Pacers during that time.
Greatest block of all time.
Best block of all time?
Greatest block of all time.
And most meaningful block, probably.
Oh,
LeBron's had a couple,
was huge.
But Tayshaun started that trend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it wasn't for Tayshaun, LeBron would never have a chase down block. And the Magic. I like that Magic look. I think that's clean. It reminds me of old school Magic jerseys.
You know what? I will say this about the Magic. They've only released one jersey out of all their jerseys released over a couple of years that I've really hated, and it's when they released those orange ones. When they look it up. The Magic has some orange jerseys that look like the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
Definitely hate those jerseys. But this one right here, I like that, using one of their secondary logos. Yeah.
I'd like to see the Magic jerseys with the pinstripes from the Pacers, because when the Magic used to have pinstripes back when Shaq and Penny were playing.
With the Orlando with the star.
Yeah, that was a sweet-looking jersey, man.
They need to bring those back. Some of those, you know what? Some of these retro jerseys actually need to come back because they look better than these newer designs.
Yeah. And then, like, the inverse for the Magic, too, when they had the black with the white pinstripes.
That was sweet.
Those were hard as hell. Is that the last? That's the last one? Okay. So those were all the teams that made the playoffs last year. They get rewarded this year with their earned jerseys.
Where they wear those?
I think they're just going to wear them coming up for a game or whatever. Pistons don't get one, though. We didn't even get invited to the damn bubble, let alone the playoffs.
I'm glad we didn't get in the playoffs because those jerseys look horrible.
We need our Big Sean jerseys next year. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Please, I just beg Big Sean to just do something to make those Pistons jerseys look somewhat attractive. I love the going to work jerseys that we had that whole time. It worked. It's time to do something a little bit different and add some swag in there. And I hope they're not like these current blue Motor City jerseys, because I'm going to say it again. Those are the worst statement jerseys in the NBA.
What do you think about like this year or next year's Pistons using like the Bad Boys type logo with a skull and a basketball in it? Do you think that's, since they're not the Bad Boys, they shouldn't touch it? Or do you think just because we're the Pistons, we could still honor them?
That's a Bad Boys logo.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I just want something. This anything, because right now, it's like the Pistons and the Lions jerseys, those just need to be torched.
Yeah. Yeah, especially those Motor City ones. You absolutely hate those Motor City ones.
It's just like, it's nothing. It's like, come on, man. I don't want to disrespect it, but it's almost like there was no real creative thought process put into that jersey. Like, hey, let's just get a jersey in, use word art or
like, seriously, that's clip art. There shouldn't be a jersey that I could redesign on my Photoshop.
Yeah, or on your phone.
But like you said, if NBA, if you need anything done in any designs, Nick Leach, our guy here, our content contributor here at Woodward Sports, is the absolute man. Make sure you follow Nick Leach on all of his social media, too, because the stuff he designs and puts out is absolutely crazy. He's the one who redid all the Pistons, Lions, Tigers, Red Wings uniforms of monochromatic colors, just like Pittsburgh. So when we talked about that earlier in the week, that was all Nick Leach design. And did you see one of the comments we got? Somebody wanted to see all of those jerseys in the teal era. So Nick is on that right now. He's redesigning all the jerseys to match the Pistons teal era.
That's great.
It's going to be hideous because that was so ugly, but I can't wait to see it for some reason.
I'm going to wear a teal era jersey tomorrow.
The maroon and teal, baby.
I don't know why you hate on those so damn much.
Because it's maroon and teal.
It's better than our blue that we got right now.
No, it's not, man. No, it's not. The design may have been better, but it's maroon and teal. Like Joe Dumars said, I don't bleed teal.
You know what? I would take that logo, but with the Pistons blue they have, right, like a darker Pistons blue. Because I've seen that mock-up flown around. Whoever made that one, that was a dope mock-up. They took that Pistons from the teal era. They took that logo and they made it on like a darker blue jersey with the red on the side, and it looked like, hey, that needs to be the real jersey for real.
Right. Well, those are your earned jerseys from the NBA. Hopefully next year we earn a jersey too. It would be nice, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe they should give lottery teams different jerseys as well. I think that would be a nice little touch. Like, make everybody gets a new jersey. We got to give a shout out to Levels Provisioning Center. It's opening up in Ferndale very soon, I believe around Easter. And once they do, man, it is going to change the game for dispensaries in the Detroit area. The level of consistency they're going to have with their product and just the level of service that they're going to provide is completely, pardon the pun, next level. It's called Levels. It's on 9 Mile and Hilton in Ferndale. You can follow them right now on Instagram at EnjoyLevels. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, our guru of the bets, Mr. Analytics, Mr. I crunch all the numbers, Adam is here to share his bets of the day with us right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, Joey, are the cookies ready?
Uh-huh.
Joey. Why is one missing?
I don't want to on the floor.
Joey, open your mouth.
Dang it, I got busted, but that was so worth it. I'm here at Crumble Cookies off of Rochester Road, right by the Imagine Theaters, and I'll tell you, these are the best cookies I've ever had in my entire life. I am not exaggerating, so come try them out. Free cookie day this Friday.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. My name is Stick. We got Joey on stage, and welcome to the stage, Adham.
Hey.
It's like you announced him as a stripper. Now to the stage.
Hey, if that's what you guys want to see.
On deck,
We'll make it happen.
Kory is on deck, on stage right now. Adam, in the hole is Fish. I'd like to see.
I think Fish would be a good stripper.
I think he would too. I could see him shaking that ass for some
You know what I
dollars.
mean?
I wouldn't do any of that.
You wouldn't do any of that?
Nope.
Not even if I threw 100 at you?
No.
Hey, you know what I want? I want to see Fish get his first lap dance because 100% the first thing he's gonna say is, "You're doing great things."
Fish, have you ever had a lap dance?
Nope, never will.
Have you ever been to a strip club?
Nope, never will.
Never will?
Never will.
Not at this moment in time.
Can I take you to one?
No.
I got Joey his first lap dance.
Nope.
I didn't give
you
it
like
to
girls
him, but
with
I got him
braces? Because that's what he's gonna deliver to you. Do not let stick. I'll take you. All right.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
Not really.
All right. Well, we're already breaking them down. It went from a hard no to I'll think about it, not really. So we're already breaking them down, Fish. We're going to hit up the Coliseum, or we're going to hit up the Flight Club. We're going to get some steak bites. We're going to pop some bottles, and I'm going to give you about 100 singles to throw at chicks, okay?
Okay, not.
And I'll make them put a rugby game on, too. How's that sound?
And that's some nice TVs.
Well, watch it at my house.
Okay. Strippers are mobile. They'll come to your house, too. You just got to pay them.
Good luck trying to get Fish to do this.
All right, enough of strippers. Let's get to gambling.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, we killed it yesterday. 4-1 again. We're 4-1 Monday, 4-1 on Tuesday, and 4-1 yesterday. So, looking good, man. Looking good. I'm super excited. Today, I'm going to start with Michigan State and Maryland. That's really the big game today. I'm going to take the over. It's set at 130 points, 130.5 actually. I'm going to move on to Tampa Bay Lightning and the Red Wings. They played the other day. Red Wings came so close to winning, but lost in overtime 4-3. I'm going to take the over again. I think 6 goals is super attainable. I don't think we're that strong on defense from a Detroit Red Wings standpoint. I think the Lightning knock in another 4 or 5, and it's really on the Red Wings to get 1 or 2 goals. So I'm going to take the over in this game. The next game, I'm going to go with the Pelicans and the Timberwolves. This is one of those lines where, like, it just makes no sense to me how you could start a game at 239 between an inconsistent Minnesota Timberwolves team that shoots below 30% from 3, and then you go to a New Orleans Pelicans team that can put up 130, 140 points, but you're not getting anything out of this game. I really highly doubt it goes over 240. That's a big number. I stay away from that number as much as I can. Every time I have so far that we've started this, I've won 6 games that I've stayed away from that have been over 235. They've all gone under that we've chosen. So I'm going to stick and ride with that. The next game, I'm going to take the under in the Florida State and Duke game. 153.5 points. That's a lot. We're talking an ACC tournament game. This is huge implications for Duke. I don't expect this to be a shootout or a free-for-all. Florida State had a bad loss to Notre Dame not too long ago. Whether or not you want to bet on Duke, I'll leave that to you guys. But I'm going to take the points. I'm going under. I'm not comfortable with this at all.
Dude, college basketball this year has been so weird with the points.
Yeah.
Some games are putting up 40, 50. Then some games are putting up 80.
And that really, to go back to the Michigan State game just for a second, that's 130.5 points. The last time they played, it was 73-55. Michigan State shot so poor, probably the poorest they've shot all season. My bet, they're not going to have that bad of a game. I think both teams go over 65, 70 points relatively easily, and it'll probably be a close game, and that's why I'm taking the points over in that one. And then the last game, probably going to be Fish's favorite, actually. We're going to play some soccer today.
Yeah, soccer bets.
What do you think about Tottenham today, Fish?
I'm always skeptical of them.
Well, I'm not. I got Tottenham winning straight up. I'm going to take them on the money line, minus 264. It's really there just for the parlay purpose. Once you put everything together, you'll see on the screen in a bit. You put in your money. You're kind of like playing the odds here. So our first 4 games are super friendly odds. You bet these individually, you're going to make money on them. And then the Tottenham game, that's really not to bet individually. It's just kind of, the cherry on top for your parlay. So you bet these 5 games, you put $50 on it. You can walk away with $847. I'm trying, guys. We've been 4-1 all week. We're so goddamn close to getting that fucking parlay.
Though. That's great, though. Look at your record, 67-31. And for people who gamble, like that's how you make money long term.
Yeah, we're not here to make quick, short money. The quick money goes away quickly. Fast money never works. It's not how this game is played. So what you do, let's say you have $100 budget. You just want to spend every day. You want to gamble on it. All right, cool. Well, if you spent $100 every day over the last few weeks that we've done this, you'd be 67-31. Now put that into perspective. You put $20 on each game. You can put 30, 15, 5, however you want to divide it. But what I do is I put straight money across the board, even amount, $20 on each game, and then I put $5 on the side as a parlay. And here we are. We're up big time. Like you can't lose. This is about a numbers game. It's not about who you feel comfortable with or who your favorite. I don't give a shit who your favorite team is. Fuck the Red Wings. I bet against the Red Wings like every day. I don't give a shit. Just the same way I'm going to bet against the Cavs. I'm going to take the odds. I'm taking the numbers. And the numbers served me well.
Yeah, just like I am a fan of like Detroit sports teams, sometimes when I gamble, I become a fan, and it bites me in the ass every time. That's why I like listening to you, because you like dive into the numbers, and you'll also look across several platforms to find out who's making the mistake on the line. Like, oh, this line is a little bit off from this, so I'm going to grab this one. What's up, Fish?
Are you choosing Tottenham because they have a chance to win or because you like them?
Let's see. Tottenham away in the Europa League. Score an average of 3.5 goals a game so far this season in the competition. So 3.5 goals. I mean, they score 2 goals, they'll probably win this game. So if they just keep doing what they've been doing, they've won their last 3 straight games. I'm feeling really confident about them.
Okay.
Love it.
Well, the team they're playing is first in the Croatian League.
Yeah, but it's Croatia. I don't think anybody pays attention to the Croatia
That's
team.
like downriver. That's the size of downriver.
That's like the NBA teams going to go up against a G League team, honestly.
So, Adam, let's run down your bets one more time today. And like we say, you can bet these individually. That's the smart play. And then if you're feeling frisky, throw $5 on your parlay or whatever like that. Or Adam said, throw 50 on your parlay, and you're getting a nice return. But we stress, this is a numbers game. You want to win 4 out of 1 every single day, and you're taking home cash.
Listen, that's the game, guys. Today, I want you to put $20 on Michigan State and Maryland. I want you to take the over. If you don't want to take the over, fuck it. Take Michigan State. Honestly, Michigan State, I'd be comfortable giving you guys Michigan State to win straight up or the over. Both I'm very confident in. I'm going to take the over in the Red Wings and Lightning game tonight. They just went over. They scored 7 goals in their previous meeting. I think Tampa Bay is just unstoppable. The Red Wings defense is leaky. I think they have a few goals in them to push it over 5.5. So 6 goals, super attainable for me, in my opinion. And then this, again, 239. How are we starting a line between 2 shit teams at 239? It makes no sense to me. Both very inconsistent from the 3-point line. Outside of Brandon Ingram, I mean, what are you relying on? Lonzo Ball to get you a few threes this game? So I'm taking the under in the Pelicans-Timberwolves game. The next game is Florida State-Duke. That's a super, super friendly number. I like 153.5 points. I think it'll be a close game. I wouldn't be surprised if the number was pushed almost right at that number. I wouldn't be surprised if that game finishes with 151, 152 total points scored. It's going to be a close one, but I'm comfortable with the under. And then the last game, of course, Tottenham to win straight up today in Europa League action.
All right. Well, thank you, Adam, for your picks. You always put in a lot of research, and that's why your record is what it is.
That's right.
So we appreciate you coming on every morning at 8:50 for Adam's Bets.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Before I leave, are you guys serious about Juju?
Yeah.
Really?
You wouldn't take him on the roster?
I wouldn't on a long-term deal. No way.
You can get a short
3-year deal.
Yeah.
Sure. 3 years, okay. With the option to cut after 2?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking
okay with that.
all of those guys.
Yeah,
I'm not like,
I'm not
this
giving
is the
a
guy
4 or
we're gonna
5
hitch
year
our
deal.
wagon to. It's like, no. But we need, of all the 3 guys, these are the guys I'd like on the squad.
Yeah, I mean, Hilton, okay, I guess, probably because it probably makes the most sense out of the 3 financially. Will Fuller, too many injury problems. Now he's just had a PED problem this year. I'd stay away. And Juju's just a smart ass off the field. If what we're hearing about Galladay is true, we're basically getting the same player, just less dynamic.
Right. Yeah. Those are the guys I like. Out of all of them, I prefer T.Y. Hilton just for what the culture he would bring to the team, the stability he would bring to the team. And, it just doesn't hurt to have an established, good veteran leading that locker room.
Yeah. No, I'm good with it.
You know what also doesn't hurt, Stick?
What?
Eating cookies.
Ooh,
Eating
baby.
endless cookies. It makes you feel so good. I'm talking about Crumble Cookies, and that is where we will be tomorrow. We're going to be hanging out from 4 to 6 at the Crumble Cookies location in Rochester Hills, right off of Rochester Road between Auburn and Hamlin. I'm telling you, right there next to the Imagine Theaters, you got to be there tomorrow. It's free cookie day, so just show up, get a free cookie, bring your wife, bring your kids, bring everybody. I'm telling you.
Well,
Crumble cookies.
I don't know what cookies taste like because the last time you went, you didn't bring anything back from your stick.
Nope. Not one cookie.
First off, Stick could say that. You can't say that. This dude said,
I know, I just wanted to give you shit.
I don't want to stress to eat cookies. Who says that? That's what you do with cookies.
Well, let's take a quick 15-second break. We got an APB out on Terry Foster. Usually he's here by 9 o'clock. We don't know where he is at this moment, but we will find out very quickly, and we'll be right back on the Woodward Sports Network.
Morning, Art.
Morning, D-Mac. Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. Thank you to everybody listening on the app and all of our social media at Woodward Sports. We appreciate your comments, your likes, your shares, your subscribes, your interactions. It means so much to us, so thank you guys so much. Normally at 9 a.m. on Thursday, we have Terry Foster in. He sent me a bunch of topics he wanted to talk about, but it's 9 a.m. and I don't see Terry, so honestly, I hope Terry's okay.
What?
Yeah.
Someone call him? This is not a Terry thing at all.
Yes.
Hey,
he said he got a late start. He's 5 minutes away.
Somebody tried to snitch on him. He had to dip out the back door.
Oh, that's what happened?
I'm assuming.
So Terry will be in here about 5 minutes. But
let's just move something up. What do we want to talk about right now?
Well, I mean, let's kind of talk about what he wanted to talk about.
Let's do it.
That was our prep for this hour, so we got to stick with it. One thing we got to wait for him, though, is last week we decided to debate, is Matthew Stafford a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
And I hope you guys did your research to bring the heat, because Terry was kind of tweeting us yesterday that, hey, these boys better bring it. So we're going to bring that conversation to the table as soon as Terry gets here. But one question that he asked, which I thought was a really, really great question, is we talked about it yesterday. The NBA Hall of Fame nominees got announced, and 2 pretty much hometown boys. Obviously, Ben Wallace isn't from Detroit, but he means so much to the city. And then you got Chris Webber. If you only had one vote for the NBA or Basketball Hall of Fame,
that's easy.
Who are you giving your vote to?
That's too easy.
Really?
Ben Wallace. when you think about everything that he did, I mean, he was the biggest reason to this, because you look at that Ben Wallace energy and what he brought to Detroit Pistons, like, he was the reason why we had the attitude that we had and the championship that we got to.
I would give it to Ben just because he's accomplished more in his career. I mean, I believe they both should get in, but if I had to just pick one, hey, Ben, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, went undrafted and accomplished all of this, NBA champion. You got to give it to Ben.
See, now when you say career, are we just talking NBA career?
I'm just talking about his just career achievements. If you're just going off of the total career, then hey, gotta give it to C. Webb. But I just feel that even with C. Webb's collegiate career, as great as it was, I felt that Ben Wallace, for what Ben Wallace did, in his pro career and what he did for the city of Detroit and his individual accomplishments, that's why I would just go ahead and give it to Ben.
See, I know you guys are both saying Ben, and Ben had a great 5-year run in the NBA, right? Chris Webber had a great 20-year run with basketball. I'm talking about what he did at Country Day, being Mr. Basketball in the state of Michigan, and obviously that really only matters to us here in Michigan, not necessarily nationally, what he did in high school, because there's lots of great high school players that never do shit with their career. So you got that, and then he moves to college, and like we discussed yesterday with the Fab Five, totally changed the culture of the sport.
Yeah.
Not just how it's played, but how it looks on the court, too. Jalen Rose, all those guys walking out there with their black socks, their black shoes, their baggy shorts, which drove all the old white people crazy, and they totally changed things in the NBA. Then he goes to the pros, and, he kind of got a raw deal being stuck with the Lakers out in the West Coast when he was with Sacramento. Yeah. He was one of the greatest power forwards to play the game. Like, you put Chris Webber, let's do this. Let's flop Chris Webber and Tim Duncan. Mm-hmm. How do you think Chris Webber does on that San Antonio team?
I believe they win a title just off of who they has as the coach. They got Greg Popovich up there, and Greg Popovich he's just able to get through to his players. He's able to get through to D-Rob, able to get through to Tim Duncan. So I believe that he would have been able to get through to Chris Webber. I believe Chris Webber's never been some type of head case that doesn't respect coaches or anything like that.
Right. And what I'm saying is Chris Webber's going to win those 5 championships that Duncan won if he's in San Antonio.
Probably might have won more.
Ooh. So with that being said, I mean, wouldn't Chris Webber be the guy that you would put your vote on to go to the Hall of Fame? I mean, Ben did have a great 4-year run, Defensive Player of the Year 4 times in a row. That had never been done. I'm
gonna be honest, I really hate this argument because I want both of them to get in, and I think they both should get in. But
you got to kill one of your babies. Which one's it gonna be?
But if I gotta kill one, you know what? I'm gonna admit it. I'm gonna be the homer. I'm going with Ben. I'm gonna be a homer. I'm not gonna lie. Now, if I had to go ahead and make my vote, if I had a real vote, like, hey, use your real basketball IQ. Who do you really think should get in? Who I would actually vote for using a vote, I would vote for Chris Webber. But who I would want to get in first, I would want Ben Wallace.
If Chris Webber were to have won it, it would have been different.
Yeah, if he had a championship,
it would have been so different.
Okay,
and that really is what this all comes down to. I mean, what is it, though? Because it is just the Basketball Hall of Fame. Is it just the NBA or not? Because it's just the Basketball Hall of Fame.
It's the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. The NBA doesn't have one.
Yeah, it's not specifically. So, that's why I'm saying, like, if we're just talking Ben Wallace, he only had a really good, Virginia Union. Okay, he did okay at Virginia Union. He was an undrafted player. When he was at Washington, he wasn't lighting the world on fire. He literally had a 5-year stretch to where he was the most dominant defender that almost any of us have ever seen. But Chris Webber had a 20-year stretch where he was one of the most talented players that you've ever seen touch a basketball. So
I think for us, is we say Ben Wallace, and I know you're making this argument, just because he did bring us that championship. I feel like if you were to ask somebody outside of Detroit who's more deserving, I mean, when you look at all the statistics and achievements, Chris Webber probably is the one that you got to pick of the two.
Yeah, Ben Wallace, the trump card is the championship, and that's really what this argument hangs on. But there's a lot of players in the Basketball Hall of Fame without championships. Let's do this. Terry Foster is here. Let's take a quick 30-second break. We'll get his mic set up. We'll get his chair set up. We'll bring him on stage and hear what he has to say about Ben Wallace versus Chris Webber on going into the Hall of Fame.
You don't fumble the ball at work. Hey, Drake Bell, Sean Baligian. See you guys next weekend.
Thanks, Mike.
Oh, Bell's soft. Wait till it comes to New Zealand. Pour that out.
Fish looking beast mode right there. Welcome back to Woodward Sports. This is the Morning Woodward Show, and I'm excited because we were a little bit worried about this guy. But now Terry Foster is here, and we're going to talk about what we were talking about last week on if you think Matthew Stafford is worthy of being a Hall of Famer or not. And honestly, this discussion really had me thinking because at first you look at it and it's like, no. I mean, we were just talking about Chris Webber, and it's like, well, he didn't get that ring, so I don't know if he deserves that. But then he opens up this entire discussion about, well, look at the statistics. I mean, the numbers that he has throughout his time. I wish the camera was on that.
I'm glad it wasn't. My goodness. You would have seen me go, whoa. All right, I'm always having problems with chairs and microphones.
Yeah, that's all right, Derek.
Listen,
we only got 30 seconds to set you up, so we gotta figure this process out.
We can't. Fish, what do you want to say, Fish?
Terry, we alluded to it last Thursday. Did Dr. Fauci stay at home a little later than she
Dr.
should have?
Fauci is at work today. Or what do we talk? Dr. Fauci, hey, supposedly in April I get my freedom.
Okay.
Because I get my second COVID shot.
Ooh.
March 21st.
Okay.
And then Dr. Fauci said I'm going to be free to do what I want the middle of April.
Oh.
So I'm good. By the way, the argument with Chris Webber and Ben Wallace, I agree with you that I'm a homer, but I'm picking Chris Webber. Because he is from Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did play at Country Day and University of Michigan, so I'm being a homer too. But Chris Webber is a much better player. And I'll tell you, I'm upset that Chris Webber is not in the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. I think he should be in that.
How is he not in the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame?
Because
blackballed from the Michigan scandal?
Fans who he was on the ballot for the first time last year.
Yep.
And I think fans are not voting for him because of the Michigan scandal. But my whole thing with Hall of Fames, can you play or can you not play? I'm not putting guys in because of good character. Are you a baller or not a baller? Because there's a lot of bad dudes in there.
Yeah.
Or in Hall of Fame. So, and my take on Chris Webber is a little bit different than the public thing. The whole Ed Martin scandal, and they said, well, Ed Martin was a Michigan booster. I disagree with that. I don't think he was a Michigan booster. Ed Martin was one of those guys that a bunch of us kids who grew up in the inner city met. They passed out money to a lot of kids, even kids who didn't go to Michigan, who didn't go to Michigan State, who didn't ball.
And let's be honest.
That was their thing.
Let's be honest. Who cares about giving money to kids? I mean, Gretchen just made it pretty much legal for kids to take money playing in college. They can now get sponsored by local car dealerships, and we were talking about that. That just opens up so many loopholes. Like,
See, I like talking to young people sometimes because your perspective is a lot different than ours. Ours is, I don't know, it's got dust balls all over it. I get pissed sometimes just thinking about the way old people think. And I'm one of them.
Well, like I was saying, Gretchen, she passed this law to where college athletes can now get endorsed by other companies, and they own the rights to their names and likeliness and stuff like that. So, like, to me, it really it turns boosters that own a business into legitimate recruiting tools now. Like, hey, come play for Michigan. The guy at Jiffy Lube will give you $50,000 a month just to speak at one event. You know,
So,
and now
so
that's
you
legal.
you just want to open it all up, don't you?
Well, that's what's That's what's gonna happen. If I'm a university and I'm a smart businessman, I'm approaching all of them saying, "Hey, whatever kid you want to come here, if you think he's gonna be amazing, I'll sign him $100,000 a year, and he can endorse my business."
What about the guy? What about the school that just would pay kids to change light bulbs?
Right.
And I mean like exorbitant fees. So you're in agreement with that?
I mean, the money's there anyway, so like it's happening, and like you said, all they're doing is finding a loophole with the light bulbs. So what difference does it make if they just hand it to them or make the kid get on a ladder and change a light bulb?
Right. You know where that money's going to now? It's going to the coaches.
Right.
Because under a normal system, like a guy like Jim Harbaugh, he wouldn't be making $7 to $8 million a year. He'd be making $3 million a year.
Right.
He could still survive on that. Tom Izzo would be making $2-3 million a year. So that money that we think college students should get, or no, actually that's a debate because some people don't want college students to get anything. I want them to get paid, but I mean that money is going to field hockey.
Right.
It's going to women's volleyball. It's going to the head coaches. So what if we, because the NCAA always says, well, we can't pay these kids, there's too many of them. What if we did this? What if we halved the head coaches' salaries and then spread it amongst the students?
I think that's okay. The thing
You
is,
hesitated?
Yeah, because I go back and forth on this all the time because I understand that all the revenue made from, there's really like 4 profitable programs in the entire nation, essentially. Because once you spread out all the money, like U of M football also pays for women's lacrosse, also pays for field hockey, also pays for wrestling. It also, for all the sports that don't actually make money, and that's what they do with all the money that they make from these big programs, it trickles down to the other programs who really don't bring in any income. So my fear with paying the players is if you do that, there's no money left for these fringe sports, and they're just going to go away.
No, hear me out, brother. But you could do that if you reduce Harbaugh's salary from $7 million, which they have already done, to $3.5 million. A lot of that money would go to the players, and a lot of that money would go to women's lacrosse or men's lacrosse or whatever.
Right.
So you've got the money there, but what you're doing is you're paying these coaches a grandiose amount of money.
Yeah, but what it would also do is create a competitive disadvantage for smaller universities as well, you know, because like Michigan has more money than an Oakland University per se, right?
Right.
So they're going to be able to go out and recruit better than Oakland University, not just on scholarship and education, but on money now, and that's
which they do now anyway.
They do.
Do you think if I'm a basketball baller, I mean I'm really good, and my choices are Michigan and Oakland University, how many times I'm going to pick Oakland over Michigan now in today's system?
Well, right now, I mean, I don't know, man. It's tough because I've seen Oakland pull some really good recruits that Michigan may or may not have gotten.
But you know why? Because Michigan didn't want them. Like Kay Felder. Kay Felder might be the best Oakland University player ever. Schools didn't want him.
Yeah. Because his size. I mean, he's a tiny guy. I mean, there's a lot of them. You know, there was Raul Marshall going back to the early 2000s, I think, is when it was. But real quick,
we got to break this. We got to break this up real quick.
Real quick, we got to break because Terry, I don't know if you know this or not. But
I do
yesterday,
know. I'm trying to keep my mouth shut.
Okay, so we got a message from Kory yesterday in our group chat. And Kory, you want to share the exciting news that you shared with all of us about the amazing
I like
achievement?
your shirt, by the way.
Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks. Joy hooked me up finally.
Finally.
Screw that hoodie. Kory, tell everybody what happened yesterday.
So I applied and I got in the Pro Football Writers of America. So,
right.
Yeah.
You know what we need to do? What? We need to get you a fedora with press on there.
Oh, a little sticker
right.
goes
a
in
little
it?
sticker, right.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that'd be amazing. But we got a surprise for you,
Kory,
Kory.
you got headphones on?
Yeah, get your headphones on, Kory.
Yeah, get the headphones on because there's somebody that you're going to really start to know really well, Kory, and her name is Lindsay Jones, Lindsay Jones, first off, she's someone that's really proud of you, but second off, she is the president
He already knows.
of the Pro Football Writers of America, and we got to welcome Lindsay Jones to the Woodward Sports Network. Hello, Lindsay.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Great.
Kory
Thank you
probably
so
knows because I
much.
sent a lot of Oh, you're welcome. I said Kory probably knows because I send a lot of emails. So,
Lindsay, are you a mom going through the
emails
school line, dropping off kids?
I'm actually, we're not at drop off right now. I'm actually hiding in my car, so I have a quiet place to talk because I have a 4-year-old inside. So, yeah.
So we just wanted to bring you on this morning.
Hiding for my child.
We just wanted to bring you on this morning because, honestly, I don't know what all goes into being qualified to make this accomplishment happen. Can you walk us through the process on approving somebody like a Kory to be a part of this prestigious group, I want to call it, I guess?
Sure, yeah. I mean, what we do at Pro Football Writers of America is basically what we do is we represent people who cover pro football and specifically the NFL. And so we work on access issues with the teams. So a lot of what I do now, I just took over as president back in January. I'd been the first vice president for the last 2 years, but a lot of what we do is dealing with the teams and with the league. We work on media policies, but we also, we do annual awards, off-field awards, on-field awards. But really what we do is we represent people who are, pro football writers and not just writers too, but people who are around, covering the league. So, working in other mediums, but being professional, having good relationships with the teams, the leagues, and that doesn't mean favorable coverage necessary, but, maintaining professional working relationships to, just really try to cover the league as well as we can for our readers and listeners around the world.
Kory, you got anything to say for yourself, buddy?
That was classic. Thank you. I was didn't expect that. But thank you for letting me in. This is I was trying to just I don't know. I'm kind of speechless right now.
Good.
You should be. I never got in.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm just coming here at Woodward Sports. Just want to go ahead and make us as credible and help build the network as much as possible. And then, covering the Lions every day, I just said, you know what, let me just go ahead and take that next step and, join organizations that could possibly bring more connects and bring more credibility to not just myself, but to the network. And I decided to go ahead and apply since I'm covering the Lions so much and in just about every press conference they have with this whole new virtual world. And I got the email yesterday, and I was just like, oh, okay, here we go.
Well, Lindsay, were you guys all sitting around in a room and Kory's name popped up and there was votes and was it a close vote? Did he get it? Did he get it by a landslide?
No, it wasn't close.
How did he get in?
I'm pretty sure it was unanimous. The number one criteria is, are you credentialed to cover pro football, and are you kind of working as a professional football writer and in professional football media? So very clearly meet those qualifications, and we're really excited to have you and look forward to you participating in our award voting and all of the stuff that we do. And there's not a ton of perks, but there's a few hopefully that you'll be able to take advantage of here over in the coming months.
Look forward to being a part of it and contributing in any way possible.
I think you might get to vote on the Hall of Fame.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that part of it? Does he get a Hall of Fame vote?
No, that is not part of it, unfortunately.
Oh, damn.
And it's separate from the MVP, the AP voting panel. But we do the PFWA does have a lot of extensive awards.
Yeah.
We're the only group that does the Executive of the Year award and some of the others. And then we do a lot of off-field awards too for a lot of different other categories. We have
the Good Guy Award.
We're the ones who vote. Yeah, the Good Guy Award. There's a whole bunch. There's Assistant Coach of the Year. There's a lot of contributor categories. So stay tuned. You'll be getting more emails from me coming up soon because that voting is going to get underway in the nomination process here in a couple weeks.
Well, thank you so much once again, Lindsay Jones, the president of Pro Football Writers of America, and the newest inductee member is Kory Woods of Woodward.
And there's congratulations. There's only one bad thing, though, Kory, I have to tell you.
Uh-oh.
You have to keep writing about the Lions, though. That's the only bummer, man.
Thanks a lot, y'all. Y'all set me up on that one real good.
Well, we didn't know what to do for you. And, Lindsay, thank you so much for joining the show this morning. I know your time is limited, so thank you so much
Thanks
for
a lot,
being
Lindsay.
a part
That was
of this.
awesome.
All right, bye.
I think you should give him a little present or something.
Bye. Well, that's the thing, Terry. I asked you what we should get Kory, and we kind of threw back and forth some ideas, and everything from a fedora to maybe a Lions jersey to maybe a mini helmet. But we got to come up with something very special.
We
for
should
Kory.
probably get him a mini helmet because you notice a lot of the football writers that they're on ESPN and other networks, they have little tiny helmets of their school or the team that they cover. So we should probably get him a Lions helmet. And what mini helmet? And what's your favorite? Are you a Pittsburgh Steelers dude?
No.
I am.
Okay,
that's me.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Probably LeBron for Kory, I would say.
For the Pro Football Writers?
LeBron. LeBron James? No. Who's my favorite football team?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's unfortunately the Lions.
Okay, then Lions mini helmet.
Okay. And we want to keep a mini helmet to keep that head just small enough to fit through the door. Because that head's about to be blowing up like this, man.
My head is already big enough as it is.
You can get the regular helmet, and he'll be like, "Oh, I can't get this on."
For real. Like,
Fish, what you got to say, buddy?
Kory, what was your first reaction when you got accepted?
I was just like, "Oh, snap!" And then I screamed and I put it in the chat. That was really it. That was like, "Oh."
That's awesome. Kory, you're such a humble guy, man, and this is such a big moment, not only for you, but for the network and stuff like that. So really just thank you for putting in your due diligence, your hard work. The articles that you write are very intelligent. They're very well thought out. Even if I don't agree with everything that you say, you make strong points to where I got to consider
And you're not supposed to.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
How boring would the world be if we just walk around and say, yeah, me too. I agree. That'd be boring.
Yeah,
man.
I hate me too.
Yeah, we don't.
And Kory, to be honest, too, we were gonna bring in your other mentor too, Rob Parker, but we didn't want to do you dirty because you didn't have the clean lineup, so we didn't want to bring him in.
Don't worry, I'm gonna go get. I gotta go get a lineup. I got a wedding I gotta go to.
Did you
Saturday.
see Rob Parker's latest article, by the way? Not to go too deep into that.
Now what trash is he writing about?
That Steph Curry ruined the NBA with the 3-point shot.
In a sense, okay. Here's you gotta. I didn't read it. I didn't read that article, but I agree in this aspect. There are too many players that try to be like Steph Curry, and they don't put in Steph Curry's work, nor have his gift. So you're seeing a lot of players now try to go ahead and just think they can jack up, half-court threes, and it's like this dude is shooting like in the 40%, a little bit above that when he makes those. A lot of these guys right now who are shooting that, they're shooting well below 40%. So
are you talking about 40% from the three? That's actually
no, I'm talking about they're shooting well below 40% from the three. He's shooting 40% from the three, so that's him. For him, that's good.
I'll take someone shooting 35% from the three.
Some of those guys ain't even shooting that. Who should be trying some of them shots.
See, next article he shredded is about how Blake Griffin ruined it for big men because all these big men think they could jack up threes now too.
Yeah, Blake Griffin. I mean, it was 6 of 8 in that one half.
What was that 80 years ago?
No, it was earlier this season. And if you take that away, he shot like 20% from 3. But if you add that in, he shot like 27, which makes it look a little bit better.
However, I mean that's not Blake Griffin. That's that's Europe.
Yeah.
All the Europeans came over, 6'8" dudes, 6'9" dudes. Most of the time, if you're 6'9" or 6'10", you had either a mid-range game or you were on the perimeter. These guys came in and jacking up long 2s or 3s, and that's the way it is. Dirk Nowitzki, you could blame him for changing the game.
I don't blame any of them. This is the evolution of basketball. It's like saying, Julius Erving changed the game because he dunked. Like, no, this is how it goes. The game evolves over time. Like, in 20 years, it's not going to look like it does today. And if you're not adapting to the change, then you're just going to hate every sport ever.
There's going to be, it's going to be a young Joey pressing full court like the entire game.
Yeah.
And we're going to say, damn, this guy's changed the game. Man, now the game sucks. No, we're not going to say that.
He's ruined the game by playing defense all the time.
Right.
Like, we'll get back there. I think, the pendulum always swings.
That is true. Joey could not play in an all-star game.
What do you mean?
Because he played defense.
Could not.
What do you mean? Yeah, all-star game, I would be the one forcing some injury on a star.
Yeah, 100%. But you're supposed to do like this, like, damn, that was a good move. As somebody blows by you, damn, I wish I could dunk like that. I mean, you're not supposed to play defense in an all-star game.
Like, there's going to be a shot go up, and no one goes for rebounds. I'm going to blocks the hell out of somebody, and they're going to be, like, so unexpected, off guard.
Let's do this. Let's take a quick 15-second break. Last week, we started off a conversation about Matthew Stafford being a Hall of Famer. I don't think he's going to be. Terry says pretty much he will be, right? Assured?
He's got to do one thing.
Okay. We'll talk about that next on the Woodward Sports Network. I mean, we're inside Grove Green right now, and they have everything. I'm talking, you got your active air fans, you got your big lights over there, big pots, little pots, and Joey, what are you doing right now?
Get some sun.
That's not what those lights are for.
Feels nice.
Go to Grow Green MI today to get all your growing needs and a tan.
The equipment now.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. My name is Stick. We are joined every Thursday by our special guest, Mr. Terry Foster and his fedora. We also have Joey up here and Kory, who is accomplishing a lot. And one guy who accomplished some things here in Detroit, but not a lot, is Matthew Stafford. And last week, we kicked off a conversation about him being in the Hall of Fame. Terry, your argument is he should be in the Hall of Fame, correct?
No, he will be.
Oh,
that's the difference.
Right.
Here's what he has to do. A lot of people say, well, he's got to go to a Super Bowl. He doesn't have to, but it would help. When you look at the Hall of Fame quarterbacks, I would say 90% of them in the Super Bowl era have been to a Super Bowl, at least one. The only ones who haven't, I think, is Sonny Jurgensen has not been to one. Warren Moon did not go to a Super Bowl, but
trendsetter though.
Do 5 Grey Cups count?
No.
Okay, I'm just asking the question. So, but most guys have been to a Super Bowl. So if Matthew Stafford does go? He's going to have to get his last, shall we say, shot with the LA Rams. He's got to win multiple playoff games. He needs to go to at least an NFC championship game. And then because of his numbers, I think he's going to go in. He already has 43,000 yards passing.
That he does.
There are guys in there with 32,000, 28,000. He would rank right in the middle right now in touchdown passes thrown.
Okay.
Of guys who are in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here in Detroit, you're going to get a lot of people say, nah, you know what? He shouldn't be in, because you know what? They're pissed at the Lions. They're pissed at the fact that he hasn't won playoff games. And my thought on that is Matthew Stafford's biggest detriment is he played for the Detroit Lions.
Mm.
If you take him out of Detroit, I think he would already have his credentials to get into the Hall of Fame. So he's already got 43,000 passing yards, and he would have multiple playoff wins. That would get him in.
I don't like giving him the scapegoat that, he played for the Lions, so he's not going to have the stats. If he was the dude, he'd have the stats, right? I mean, if you're the man, you got to be the man.
He's got the stats, but one time, I always hate to bring this up. There is one man on the face of the earth who's walking around with a playoff victory for the Detroit Lions since 1957.
Kramer?
Eric Kramer.
That's right.
Now, is Eric Kramer better than Matthew Stafford?
No.
No.
No. No, and here's my deal with Stafford. I'll admit he's the best Lions quarterback of all time. Fair enough. That doesn't put you in the Hall of Fame in my book. His yards thrown for, very good. That doesn't put you in the Hall of Fame in my book, because just like we were discussing with basketball becoming a different game, Stafford came along at just the right time when NFL started to turn into just passing. 50-some-odd attempts a game. He played under a Mike Martz offense for a while, which definitely pads your stats. We all know the moniker of him as Pad Stafford when he comes back in the fourth quarter after being down for 3 quarters, which to me is a ghost stat as well. So when I'm looking at those numbers, it's like, okay, but are those real numbers? Are those tangible things? Did they lead to wins? Is it something that everybody can look at and say, this guy deserves to be in a Hall of Fame? So with this argument, the angle I want to take with you, Eli Manning, did he have a better career than Matthew Stafford?
I would say no.
You would say no, even though he has more passing yards, more touchdowns, and 2 Super Bowls.
He's got the Super Bowls
and the yards.
But
Stafford has at this
let's
point.
rephrase it. Is he a better quarterback than Matthew Stafford?
Accomplished quarterback. Because, I mean, if we're
I give you that, but I don't think he's a better quarterback. My eyeball tells me
what's
he's
better?
not.
What do you say better? Is
Right.
it all off of stats? Because accomplishments is what makes you a better quarterback.
But what do guys always say when they get in the Hall of Fame? I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my teammates.
Yeah, you gotta say that, though.
No, but it's true. They would not be there because of their team. Right. But I will flip it by saying Matthew Stafford came along at the very absolute wrong time. He played under the worst general manager in football history.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I always thought Russ Thomas, who, by the way, was the general manager of the Lions, was the worst GM in football history. Matt Millen trumped that. So Stafford played under Matt Millen. You're not going to win, brother. Not going to win.
But back to Eli Manning, because that's who I want to focus on, because to me, that's the comparison I'm making right now. Guy has more passing yards, similar touchdowns, won 2 Super Bowls, and he may not even get into the Hall of Fame. So why would we put in a guy who just has passing yards on his resume? Passing yards mean absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
And you can add those up, and by the time Stafford is done, or in the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be players that are horrible that have better passing yards just because of the way the league is played right now, not necessarily how good they were.
Okay, you don't think Eli Manning is going to get into the Hall of Fame?
I think Eli should be in the Hall of Fame. I think anytime you win 2 Super Bowls, you should probably...
He is not a Hall of Fame player in my eyes, but he's going to make it too.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. It's 2 things. He is the brother of a very famous guy named Peyton Manning. That's going to help him. And he plays in New York. That helps too.
Yep.
In any sport, if you play in New York, you get a couple booster shot points.
Right. Ben Roethlisberger, Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just looking at passing yards right now.
Why don't we talk about one that did get the Hall of Fame? Kurt Warner, for example. He's got 13,000 less passing yards in 40 games less in his career, but he has 2 MVP awards and a Super Bowl. I feel like he has to achieve something like a Super Bowl, achieve something like an MVP award, because to Stick's point, it really is just stats at this point.
It is, but I think he's going to accomplish this with another team. He is with a real NFL team for the first time in his career. He is going to get his multiple playoff wins. I don't know if he's going to get an MVP because you have other guys who are probably better, but I think he's going to put the final touches on his resume that's going to get him in the Hall of Fame.
By the time Stafford finishes his career, he's going to be probably he's going to be for sure top 10, but top maybe even top 5 in passing touchdowns, top 5, top 10 in passing yards. He's going to have, and if everything pans out well in LA, he's going to have a couple playoff wins under his belt. He's probably going to finish somewhere, and if he stays healthy, what is he? Stafford's 32 right now? 32, 33.
He's got 43,000 yards.
Yeah, so he's going to finish somewhere probably around 60-something thousand passing yards. As long as he gets a couple of playoff wins and he gets the Rams to at least an NFC championship, if he gets them to Super Bowl, great. But if he at least gets them to an NFC championship and improves that playoff record, and he's gonna get in there because he's gonna have gone to another team, and he's gonna have, first off, he's gonna change his personal fortune, and then he's gonna go ahead and show, like, hey, even though we hate the narrative, like, oh, it was Detroit, it's going to be out there like, hey, it was Detroit. Like Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson was here 9 seasons. You can argue there are other players who should have gotten in before him, but because of how dominant he was and he was stuck in Detroit, he got in.
Yeah, but I hate that comparison. Like, people are like, oh, Calvin, Barry, wasted their careers in Detroit. But when you have a conversation anywhere around the country about the best running back of all time, Barry Sanders is going to be in that conversation, correct?
Correct.
When you have a conversation about best wide receiver of all time around the country, Calvin Johnson most likely will be in that conversation.
Not
correct?
necessarily.
I said most likely.
I
mean, he's a Hall of Famer at this point.
Honestly, Barry is one thing. Barry is just hands down. You have to put him in top How you feel
but my
about top
point
three?
is,
But
when
with
you get to quarterback, best quarterback of all time around the country, nobody's bringing up Stafford.
I gotta disagree with that because
Really?
because
of all time, you know somebody that will bring up Matthew Stafford.
Not of all time.
I haven't heard him.
Not of all. Okay. When you talk about all time, no, nobody's talking about Matthew Stafford's best quarterback of all time.
That's what I'm saying.
But he doesn't have
Barry.
Barry all time.
But the thing is, Barry and Calvin's careers are finished. Matthew is still playing. He's still carving out his career. So the argument that I hear from other people in different states about Stafford is his potential. He hasn't reached his potential in Detroit because of what the Lions put around him. So, I mean, I believe he has a chance to get into that conversation.
I think you have to shut up. You're talking to a man in the Pro Football Writers Association now. You got to. Yeah, right. You should bring that up every day.
I don't think, like I said, I don't think that way of Matthew Stafford. I'm just telling you what other people in other states, like in Texas, they love Stafford. Of course, that's his home. That's his hometown. But there are so many other places that love Stafford. It's just here in Detroit, it's a different view.
Okay, do they love him in North Carolina? Do they love him in Florida? Do they love him in California? Well, now they do.
Yeah, not
Northern California. How about that?
So, with all this being said, though, like that was my point. Barry, one of the GOATs. You can have that conversation. Calvin, one of the GOATs. You can have that conversation. Stafford, you can't have that conversation. He's not on that. He's not even on. He's never even been the best quarterback in the league while he's been playing, let alone the entire history of the NFL.
You don't have to be one of the best in the. All you have to do is be better than Fran Tarkington or Ben Roethlisberger.
What about Carson Palmer? Is he a Hall of Famer? Very similar stats to Matthew Stafford, except he actually has some playoff wins.
No.
And there you go.
But Carson Palmer's career is done. Matthew Stafford still has a chance to, carve out something.
I mean, he'll definitely
that's
have
what I'm saying.
way more yards.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like
that's what I'm saying. It's Carson. I mean, Stafford is still playing.
All right, let's take a vote right now. When his career is done, will he be inducted into the Hall of Fame?
No.
Joey.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Because I don't think he's gonna do it with the Rams. That's a big reason why.
I'm also going to say no just because of the reasons I listed. Unless Eli, Carson Palmer, and all these other guys who just have gaudy stats get in, and, Eli actually got 2 Super Bowls, then, yeah, there's no sense in putting this guy in.
Pro Football Talk?
Yeah. Let us know, Kory. You're the official.
I have to add a caveat. If he strings some playoff...
No, I don't want to hear the caveat. Is he going to be in or not? Don't give me this bullshit. Is he going to be in or not?
I don't think he gets in.
I think he does.
I'm going to translate that to Terry. Kory did say no, the Pro Football Writer.
Yep.
Yeah, he did say no.
I don't think he gets in.
So you better listen to him, Terry.
Do you know I am? As they say on the NFL Network, woo! I'm the lone wolf. But that's all right. I think he's going to do enough in Los Angeles to get into the Pro Football.
He has the potential. That's what I'm saying. I think he has the potential. Whether he actually gets it done, I said before, I don't think he plays 25 games.
Okay, let me say this, fellas. This is not the Baseball Hall of Fame. If it was the Baseball Hall of Fame, he definitely is not getting in. This is the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The standards are a lot lower.
So we're going to find out what happens with Matthew Stafford and if he makes the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's years away, but as of right now, I do not see him getting in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
10 years from now, let's
revisit this?
Reconvene.
I hope we can, Terry.
Yes, I hope
really
so, too.
do.
I hope I'm still around.
I hope we're all blessed enough in 10 years to sit around,
right.
have some drinks, and talk about our Matthew Stafford debate. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Terry has a new nickname for Kory, which he wouldn't tell me, and I want to find out what it is coming up next on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys, and ladies, this is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking Thorogood boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick. We have Terry Foster on with us every Thursday at about 9 a.m. Joey's on stage, Kory's on stage, and Terry, you have a new nickname for Kory.
I've been thinking about this for a long time.
Uh-oh.
Well, not that long, because I haven't been here that long. But everybody around here loves Kory.
Yes.
You know, you can't say anything bad about the guy. In fact, I went through the building a few days ago, and I just said, you know what, Kory, that guy's an asshole. Like, within 15 seconds, I was up against the wall. So, what did you say about Kory? And this wasn't one of you tough guys. This is one of the honey buns from Lady James.
Oh.
One of the stylists. He said, you don't talk about my Kory like that. I was just joking.
Hey,
so
you're
you better
getting
make
Kory
sure.
some hot water right now.
Oh, no, ain't not me.
So, what is the one sports team that everybody across the nation loves? There's
Lakers.
one. No, not the Lakers. There's one.
Oh,
if you say the Cowboys are America's team, I'm going to puke right here on the
Let's
stage.
I hope it's not
That's
that.
all right.
One team?
One team.
Can you give us the sport?
Steelers?
No.
Okay. Give us a hint.
Not the Yankees.
No, here, I'll tell you, because you guys are never going to think this deeply. Everybody in sports loves the home team.
Oh, okay.
So my nickname for him
abstract.
is home team because people like him. Kory has a settling disposition.
Yes.
And he's a winner every day. He's home, so he's kind of, I'm going to start calling him home team. Now,
I'm with it.
my other things that I eliminated was home skillet and home biscuit because
Home biscuit. I like biscuit.
I was thinking to call him home biscuit because where I grew up, Grandma used to make these beautiful, fluffy biscuits, and it made the house smell good. And Grandma, when she had a skillet, she didn't use it to bop Grandpappy upside the head. She used to make these great dishes out of her skillet. So I was thinking of calling him home skillet because he's kind of like a hometown guy, and he's going to be a hometown hero pretty soon.
I'd like to call Kory the conscience. He's the conscience of our show.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, because
He is. Now, I do have one problem with Kory, though.
let's hear it.
I knew something
Love
was
this.
coming.
Joey and Stick are bullies. You guys are online bullies. And Kory will say something, and then you guys get your faces all like this and say, oh, no, Kory, blah, blah, blah. And this dude changes his mind.
No, we're just very intelligent and create articulate reasoning to convince him to come to our side of the fence.
Just
no.
eye-opening, awareness.
When they change my mind, it's like, okay, I can see what you mean. But there are times where I'm like, nah.
Well, yeah, sometimes, but you guys talked about Tom Izzo a couple weeks ago, and you said you can't make a comparison of Tom Izzo to Mike Krzyzewski. He's overrated, and you're like all dignity, and just like this. These guys talk, and then I hear, well, you can compare Izzo to Krzyzewski, and maybe he is a Hall of Fame coach. I'm like, well, what happened to Kory? Damn.
He heard the facts and it changed his mind. That's what reasonable people do.
Here's what I like about Joseph. I'm going to say something nice about Full Court over there.
Wow.
Full court.
Something
Full
nice
Court
today.
will
All
come
right.
on the air and say, the sky is purple today. You cannot get this man to change his mind. It's like, Full Court, it is not purple, it's blue. And he's like, nah, motherfucker, it's purple. Can't you see? Yeah, I saw it, and I took a picture of it. He can't produce a picture, but he's not changing his mind. Stand up. These guys are bullies, man.
Oh, they don't bully me. Trust me. They think, but they don't.
You know what it is, Terry? Sometimes Kory, outside of football, because Kory is officially the pro football writer of America, right?
Yeah, we can't talk to
We
football
can't talk
to this
football,
dude.
no. But sometimes outside of football, he talks out of his ass.
Oh, they ain't won.
Uh-oh.
Oh, fight. I'm just going to sit back.
Izzo.
Well, I said he was overrated, and, they won some games, and I said, hey, he proved me wrong.
How is he overrated?
I just feel that he's overrated. How people talk about him is this don't know, this figure who with some type of aura, like, oh my God, Izzo walks in the room. I don't feel that from him when I watch him or when I see him play.
Okay.
I respect him as a Hall of Fame coach. He is one of the greatest coaches of all time. But this figure that people try to put him in when they try to put him in that Coach K class, I'm like, just bring it down just a little bit. Is he a great coach? Yes, Izzo's a great coach. When you're trying to put him in that Coach K greatness, no, just bring it back down. Just bring it down a little bit.
Here's the advantage Coach K has. He coaches in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
College basketball in North Carolina is a lot different than it is up here in Michigan.
It's like football in
I
Texas.
found that out the hard way.
Well, you tried out for a Duke's basketball team?
No, so I did something very, very dumb, and when I was being very dumb and ignorant. So, colleges have like little Sibs weekends where they can bring your siblings or anything like that to the campus. So my cousin, Bruce, he went to Duke University. And he brought me down there for Little Sims weekend. So I have the bright idea of when he brings me into the cafeteria with all the Duke people, have the bright idea to take off my hoodie and I have on a UNC Vince Carter jersey.
Nope. And you didn't get your ass kicked?
He didn't know when I took it off.
Man.
When I took it off, he turned around and looked at me. It literally looked like everybody in the cafeteria was looking at me, and he's just like, "Dude, what are you doing?"
The record stops. Everybody gets
silent.
silent.
It was one of those. Like,
Did you do it to be defiant, or you just didn't know?
No, I did it to be funny. It was just I didn't think it was I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. I thought I know people were going to pick with me, but I didn't think it was going to be that.
All right, you said your moment. I'll tell you my moment. I'm covering the Indianapolis 500 around a whole bunch of people from Indiana, and they had a picnic for us. Me said during the picnic that Bobby Knight is an asshole. And all these
asshole.
He is, but not in Indiana. He's not. Everybody looked at me like, "Really? Did you just say that?" Well, do you like him as a coach? No. So I just kept burying myself, man. They were upset with me. I didn't get any ribs that day.
Well, Terry, as always on Thursday, it's such a pleasure to have you in here. I always feel like this hour just completely flies by when you're in here.
Oh, you said to all the guys, but thank you.
No, really.
Every guy gives me an hour. So thank you very much for coming in every Thursday and being a part of the Morning Woodward Show.
I'm enjoying it.
We will we'll have you back on next Thursday, and we'll have another spirited argument. You can smack us around and tell us what we can and can't do right.
No. I just want to know if you're going to get Kory to change his mind again.
It depends on the argument, but I probably will because I'm very talented.
Now, do you like home biscuit better than home team?
I like home biscuit, man.
Yeah.
Kory, because Kory's a biscuit baby.
Is it okay to be home biscuit?
I like home team.
All right, home biscuit.
Hey, one thing that we all like though, Bridge Street Exchange in downtown Fenton, and they are supporting our Perfect Bracket Payoff by giving us a Shinola watch. And when you go into the shop, they have all Michigan, all Detroit brands in there. You go in the back, a beautiful Carhartt room. So go check them out for yourself, located in downtown Fenton. Or go to bridgestreetexchange.com. Use the code word WSN to get 15% off your entire order.
All right, and coming up next, we got Fish's
Let me say real
Facts.
quick, I've been to Bridge Street, and you're right. This is not just a commercial. That place is pretty bad.
Isn't awesome.
Are you a mall guy or no?
Yeah, I love them all. But here's the thing. Like, women can go shopping for panties and stuff like that. Bridge Street, I mean, the fellas could get together. Seriously, it's something we don't do. But you could get like 2 or 3 dudes and say, let's go shop and look at stuff. And
yeah,
I got stuff for my son. My son is just starting to shave. I got him some little stuff for his beard, some little conditioner, and also to wash his little dirty ass face. And it's some good stuff in there. I'm telling you.
So make sure you hit up Bridge Street. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Fish's Facts. You can hang it.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Is it time?
Yeah, it is. Fish!
Go fish.
Fish Facts.
Ew!
time for Fish's Facts. Intern Fish comes on, shares his facts from random sports that we don't necessarily cover all morning during the morning show. And Fish, I know rugby kicked off for you yesterday, or is it kicking off, or how do they start a rugby game?
Yeah, they kick off.
Okay, they don't just scrum it out?
No.
Okay. So, Fish, give us your facts of the day, buddy.
All right, we'll get to rugby in a moment. We start with soccer, though, football. Barcelona lost. Well, they tied yesterday, but they lost because the first game was 4-1, so they lost 5-2. They missed the Champions League quarterfinal for the first time in 13 seasons.
Damn. That's a long run.
Speaking of Messi, he might be leaving Barcelona this summer. We will see. He's been there for 17 years.
Wow. What would that do to Barcelona?
That would put them in a massive stranglehold.
Is that bigger than LeBron leaving Cleveland?
Yes.
That's got to be.
Yeah.
It is.
Like next level, right?
I mean, Americans wouldn't talk about it, but the normal soccer public would.
All right, what else you got, Fishy?
All right, we go to basketball because we had some games that happened last night. Jonas Valanciunas?
Valanciunas.
He got 29 points, 20 rebounds, and 4 blocks. It is his 4th 2020 game with the Grizzlies. Only Zach Randolph has more in the franchise history.
Man,
10.
these Euro big men are doing some damage in the NBA right now.
Yeah, they are. They're doing some big international person, so I love all the Europeans when they play in America. We have March 11th, 1965, this day in history. Bill Russell. He got 49 rebounds in a Celtics win over Detroit. 3rd highest single game total in history.
Bill Russell was a bad man, and when you have that conversation about the best NBA player of all time and you don't bring up Bill Russell, I don't believe your argument at all. You at least got to mention that guy.
Well, I want to also mention the Pistons missed a lot of shots in that game.
Obviously, at least 50.
Yeah, did you watch that game, Terry, or did you enjoy Bill Russell?
I saw Bill Russell play.
Okay.
I was not at that game, and he was a very fine player.
Cool.
What else you got, Fish? You got your bets for today?
Yeah, Michigan State, Maryland. It is 1. The spread is 1 to Maryland. It's actually 1 to Michigan State.
Oh,
on my bookie.
It moved again?
I guess it moved. It's -1 Michigan State.
Oh, wow.
So
man.
it's on my bookie. This is as of 9:50.
Wow, the money must be moving to State because 2 days ago they were +3.
At -115
Wow.
is the money line.
Okay.
The over-under is still 129.
Got it.
I'll go State, I guess.
You're damn right you go State.
That's more of a hometown pick, but I'll go State.
All
And
right.
then we have Pistons and Hornets tonight, +4.5 for the Pistons. Hornets are favored. Well, of course I'm going with the Pistons.
That's right, baby.
I know you were right 10 times last season with the Pistons. the first half, I mean.
Yeah, if I was actually real, I'd go Hornets, but because I'm a Detroit person, I'm going Pistons.
All right.
Don't throw your money away, brother.
The homer picks.
I can't not go with the Detroit team.
Yes, you
can.
can.
Yes, you can, because if you did, you'd lose a lot of money.
Yeah, Adam shits on the Detroit team all the time and is banking over there.
Yeah.
Adam shits on everything.
Yes.
It's not true.
That's not true. All right, Fish, you got one more bet, or is that it?
No, we have one more bet.
All right, let's hear it.
You want to hear the song?
Oh, yeah,
That's
too.
not where I was going, but I'll do the song, The Champions. Do, 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 do.
All right. Now what's the bet?
So we went from Thursday Night Football to Friday Night Football. We'll do this one. We'll go Eagles Broncos. The spread is 7.5. The Eagles are favored in this one. I actually like the Eagles. They got a nice young squad. I think they're favored to win the competition this year.
Nice.
They're basically like the Lions. They haven't won it in a long time.
So who you betting on, Fish?
Eels.
You taking the Eels?
We'll go spread. It's 7.5.
All right, perfect. That is Fish with his facts and his bets. He comes on every day about 9:50 and does those for us. Fish, people love you in the chat on everything, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Like, you have become a mini little celebrity on this show, and I hope you know you are adored throughout the whole company.
And he's adorable, too, at the same time.
Yeah, he's amazing. This kid's amazing. He works so hard for us. He's been an intern for what now, 4 months, Fish?
3 months and a couple weeks.
Okay, have you learned anything, you feel?
Yes, I've learned a lot.
Whew, thank God. Okay,
and it's funny because I don't feel like I do enough.
You do so much,
No,
man.
this dude is all over the building.
Yep.
There's probably 2 fishes around here because
could be.
I'm in the studio here. There's hey, what's up, fish? How you doing? Then I go in the back and I see the people eating pizza and kicking, and there's fish. Hey, what's up? Got some pizza? You want to slice? I'm like, damn, why is this dude all over the spot?
And you go take a piss. He's right next to you at the urinal. What
Yeah.
up, fish?
He's
Damn.
singing. He's holding. All right, Joey, let's get into Dumbass of the Day.
To present the award,
It is Joey.
it is time. Dumbass!
To the day.
Why would you do that? And the loser is.
So we are not doing a Florida man today, guys. We're doing a Michigan man.
Michigan Dumbass.
I like that. Michigan man. So this 30-year-old by the name of James, he broke into a house. And take a guess what he used to get into the house.
His penis.
Maybe that too, but,
Okay.
but
Well,
no.
that's usually where these stories go.
What about you, Terry? What would you break into a house with?
Crowbar.
This dude used his own credit card.
To like card the door?
Yes, to like get the ledge off or whatever.
And then, let me guess, he left the credit
he
card?
left the credit card. And this dumbass got busted like that because they showed up to the scene and sure as hell was pretty obvious to find out who it was because my man left his own credit card there and he got himself busted.
Wow.
You know, I am so afraid I'm going to tune on in the show and dumbass of the day is going to be me. I dream about that. Like, please don't let it happen.
If you're around us enough, Terry, it might happen.
Yeah, man. But I'm not going to break anybody's house with my credit card.
I mean, if
I'll
we
tell you
had
that.
video of you falling out of the chair earlier, that may have made it yesterday.
No, that wouldn't be dumbass of the day. That'd be old man of the day. That's what we do. We
Pick
fall
Terry
out of
up,
chairs.
he hurt his hip.
That's right. Need hip surgery.
So don't break into a house. Well, if you were to break into a house,
No, just don't break into a house.
Don't use a credit card. Don't use your credit card. Use someone else's credit card.
Right, because people work hard for their stuff. Don't just steal it.
Right. Dumbass of the day. You're an official dumbass. I'm going to hit him with the dumbass one more time.
Dumbass. You dumbass!
There it is. Thank you guys so much for waking up with the Morning Woodward Show this morning. We appreciate all the interactions on all of our social media. And, of course, everybody who has downloaded our new app, which is available on Apple and Google Play Store. Baligian and Bell is up next at 11 a.m. But it is Thursday, so that means Ben's Origins podcast drops a new one literally this very minute. You can go to woodwardsports.com, click on the podcast drop down, and you can see the full lineup of podcasts that we have for you to listen to. Thank you guys for waking up with us. We're going to go watch that Michigan State game now, and hopefully tomorrow we'll get to watch Michigan State at 11:30 a.m. Have a great Thursday, everybody.